Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to the Diamond Experience with Marsha Benton. Hey, today, I have on set two of my Diamond team members, Annette Hopkins and Marquita Preston, and we're going to talk about soul ties more than you imagine. Today, I wrote this book a few years ago, and actually I studied the subject of soul ties for almost 20 years now, because the soul tie that I had me going. And when I say going, I mean it had me doing things that I never thought I'd do, doing things that I thought was out of my control. So today, soul ties more than you imagine. We're going to give a couple of testimonies, and then we're just going to talk a little bit about the subject. We're going to start with you, Annette, after reading my book, Soul Ties. Please talk about your experience.
My experience was an aha. The one chapter spoke about speaking words into the air, into existence, like, I'll never love you anymore, or I'll love you more than the next person, or I don't want to love anybody as much as I love you. Things like that. And it made me think, wow, you don't think when you're saying these words to somebody you love, you don't think that they're growing in your spirit, like
right.
And so mine was, I was in a relationship with a person, and they were going through something, and I said to that person, I said, I got enough strength for the both of us.
Wow.
So go ahead and whatever you have, just pour it on me, because I can take it. I'm strong like that. And I felt more of the person's protector and not woman. Because wrong, right, or indifferent, I was like, this is us together. We go through this, And once I read that section, I was like, wow. And so I had to ask God. I got to take that away from that person, because I'm weakening me from the inside,
taking that on.
Exactly. So that wasn't for me. So I just had to pray that out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, did you feel like weighted? Like what? How did it make you feel physically? Did it?
It did. After I spoke those words and was in a relationship for a few years, it did make me feel weighted. It made me feel like I got to protect this person from anybody and everybody.
Wow.
And that's how that made me feel. But once I read the book, I was like, oh, you got to take those words back. Because, it just made me feel in here tense all the time.
Yes. And it makes you feel like almost trapped in it.
Yes. That's the good word.
For a lack of a better term, is and you're in something and you need to get out.
Correct.
But you don't know, exactly what it is and how to get out.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. And that's the subtlety of the soul tie. Soul ties hide.
Right.
And they're not always identified as soul ties because they manifest so many other issues and situations by the time you get to the soul tie, if you ever get to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you've been through trauma.
Yeah.
We were talking about trauma. You've been through so much trauma.
Yes.
So, Marquita, actually, let me go back to Annette. Annette actually had me do a book signing at her job.
Yes, we did.
Before my official book signing, and I told her we couldn't post it because I wanted to do my launch, but the need was so there, and so many people from her job was buying my book and getting healed and delivered. I felt the need to actually do that, and I thank you for doing that. We did a book signing there, and I got to meet and talk with a lot of people because of that, and it's been phenomenal ever since. Marquita?
Well, your book is the way that we met, and my mother used to help, like, babysit you. My mom forever. My mom had told me one of the kids I babysitted, basically, she wrote a book, and it's pretty good. Like, she had just read a couple chapters, so she had given it to me, and I was like, I'll take it to work and read it on lunch break. And I had a 30-minute lunch break, mind you. So I sat at my desk, I read the book, and I was like, oh. and I went and made like a copy of like the prayer. And I passed it out to a couple of ladies because we talk a lot about our lives. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, I'm gonna see if she'll just do like a small conference. And then I reached out to you on Facebook, and I was like, are you interested, or would you be able to, and how much would it cost for you to come talk? And basically she came down to the library in Newcastle, and we had a conference, and a lot of people had aha moments. They understood, because at the end of the day, we don't realize, like, I've heard of soul ties and things of that sort, but a lot of times we just think about it in relationships in regards to dating, you know, your spouse or something. But when you were talking about, it could be child and mother, mother and child, it could be things. It's like a lot. And I think you said it was like correct me if I'm wrong, 30 different soul ties. But it's like, and I, like, when I read it, I just realized that my soul tie comes in a cycle.
Yes.
And it's like with the same person, and then also too, even if you're not with them, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, even though I wasn't with that person, it started like, okay, that makes sense. And then like I was like dating someone at that point, and I always felt weighted. Like I didn't, like, it wasn't comfortable. I felt weighed down. I wasn't being myself anymore. And it's kind of like I was neglecting myself to be like taking on like stuff that he did. Yeah. And it was just like a whole point where I got tired. Right. You know, and when I let that relationship go, pretty much after we had that conference and things of that sort, I felt like I lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Like, I don't know, because like even with it, like you think about it, like you don't like peanut butter, you're dealing with somebody who eat peanut butter, now you eat peanut butter. Yes. So it's like one of those things where sometimes you just got to let
that's a moment. Go. I'm going to let that sit right there, because soul ties do make you take on that person's characteristics. Yeah. And you don't realize it, you know, at all, if ever, you know, that you're taking on things that you said you would never do, never say, never eat. Now you're doing them because you have a soul tie to this person. Hey, we are going to take a break, and we will be right back. Don't go nowhere with more on soul ties, more than you imagine, because they really are more than you imagine. Don't go nowhere. Woman. Hey everyone, this is Marsha Benton here at the Diamond Experience Show, my show. I just wanted to let you know about my book, Soul Ties More Than You Imagine. If you have not purchased it yet, you can find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It will truly be amazing to your life. It will give you a lot of good information that you need. Please purchase this book and let me know what you think. Woman, hear me roar. Hey, we're back here at the Diamond Experience with Marsha Benton, and today we are talking about my book, Soul Ties More Than You Imagine, and they really are more than you imagine. A lot of people don't know that there are actually about 30 unhealthy or ungodly soul ties, if you will, that entrap us and ensnare us and actually hinder us from being our authentic self. Now, my book, if you have not gotten it, it is available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. And I'm just going to read you the back of my book real quick. It says, have you ever had someone break up with you or depart from your life and you can't seem to totally let them go or get over them? Do they come up in your mind seemingly out of nowhere, though you have been away from them for months or even years? Sound familiar?
Yes.
Are you or someone you know unable to maintain a lasting, healthy, committed relationship? Sounds familiar? We know a lot of people like that, right? This is what the world is coming to. Are you or someone you know have attachments to their own family members and others that are dysfunctional? Are you seeking answers to what is hindering you from moving forward, being promoted, and advancement in life? Favor with people in healthy, wholesome relationships, affiliations, interactions, and associations, as well as connections, are needed for every area of life to accomplish, accelerate, and lead a successful, fulfilling life. A soul tie can disrupt and prevent these things from happening. There are at least 32 different soul ties. Soul ties to family and friends can be just as devastating as soul ties to an ex-lover. They can be very subtle, camouflaged, and remain undetected for many years, generations, or even a lifetime. Soul ties are more than you imagine. That is what my book is about. It explains all of what I've just read. Now we're just going to talk a little bit about a few of the different kinds of soul ties. First of all, a soul tie is defined as a spiritual connection between two or more people who have been physically intimate with each other or who have had an intense emotional or spiritual association or relationship. That's why there are a lot of people who have unhealthy and ungodly soul ties to their pastors, to their churches, to their jobs, and you don't even realize it. One of the things that the Lord has actually dropped in my spirit has been about severing old contracts. If your company has been bought out and merged with other companies, we have to sever those ties to those companies, even though you still may be working for them, but there may be some underlying hidden things that they have taken on and signed on to, and being that you work for them, you're in agreement. Isn't that deep? You're in agreement. So pray over yourself. When you're praying over yourself, pray to sever the soul ties or any ungodly or unhealthy ties to any corporations that your company may be affiliated with, to people, to things. You can even have unhealthy soul ties to music. You know, you have a lot of people, you know, with unhealthy soul ties to rap music and things like that. They take on that that whole persona. You know, they try to be the person. They try to be the rapper. They try to be, you know, the star. Do y'all know anybody like that? Know anybody like that?
That's funny.
So, an unhealthy soul tie may occur with anyone abandoned by their father or mother. Wow. And they have resentment or hatred toward that parent. And the person may also feel compelled to find or force him or herself into an unwanted relationship. Now, that unhealthy soul tie is actually brought on when you have a parent or both parents who died when you were young, at a young age. So you feel abandoned. You know, and you don't even know that the abandonment is there, that, you know, the unhealthy soul tie. And if you know people who have lost parents early on in life, you could see where they actually will try to, you know, bring a family together and be a part of a family. They so, you know, want to be parented, you know, and what have you. And that's fine because God made us for a relationship. But there can be an unhealthy soul tie there when, you know, it becomes dysfunction because you're trying to operate out of your own, you know, out of your own devices and out of your own mind, you know. And that's why we need, you know, God. He and Holy Spirit, they actually reveal these things to us. So thank you, ladies, for this time. And we're talking about soul ties more than you imagine. Thank you for sharing your experiences with everyone. You can follow us on All Things Diamond, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name is Marsha Benton at the Diamond Experience. You can buy my book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I am also available for speaking assignments. You can contact me at allthingsdiamond@gmail.com. And we thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we've given you some information to feed your soul, to help you get free, to be your authentic self, or to help others, because that's what it's about. It's, you know, all of us helping one another. So thank you. And until we meet again, keep your head up, stay positive, and know that whatever you're going through, there is an end to it, and better is coming for you.